Uh, well, I had quite a few days, or better say weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, something like that, but many days. What I did new, I've added this module here, this module here, and that module there. So it's 3 modules I've added to the entire board that you're seeing here. This is the circuit diagram. L298 is this module here. So it's this module here for the 4-wire motors. This module is L6506. This module is here, and that module there is this OLN 2003. This guy here, and also the LEDs, the blue LEDs that you are seeing there, is on the other side here. And as you can see, it's working perfectly right now. But because it is connected directly, the pins of the OLN are connected directly on these lines that you're seeing here, and it's working in parallel and correctly with this guys that are leading here, as you can see, one by one, and it's perfectly in the mirror with this, which is it should be like that. But it wasn't like that. After I put everything here, after I mounted and I glued and I made all the soldering and everything, this particular module didn't want to work correctly, and I tested it 1,000 times in 1,000 ways, better said. So what I did, I actually made a list with the tests I made. Here it is. So actually I will show you on the schematic here, and hopefully I have some space here on L298 error. So if I'm putting the wires, this wires from ULN, so from ULN exactly as it is here on the schematic, directly on this 298 wire input wires here in parallel with it, if I'm putting them there, I'm getting an error. Then the second, so this was the wires. Actually, I can show you the error because it's very simple. This is a replica what I'm having here with what I had there. So I decided to breadboard it. So 1 second to jump to the error mode that I had it previously. Well, originally actually. It's not working because this yeah, it's the second it's the second line on so if I'm moving them here, pretty much these lines, if I'm taking them from there, moving them there, is inputs on the L6506 inputs. So here on the inputs, everything is off, as you can see now. I don't know, I cannot replicate the error, unfortunately, unless I have to link back there, and it's already linked here, and nah, I don't want to mess it up. So so this is the second line of errors, and here the third experiment. I put it directly on the lines, exactly directly on these lines, as it was a moment ago. Let me put it back. Okay, so now is directly on these lines that you're seeing here, these lines there, and I'm pretty much bypassing everything else. I'm connecting directly to those lines, and it's not shown here in the schematic, but here it was the 4 transistors, these 4 transistors, or those 4 there. So it was here, the 4 transistors, and on the collector of each transistor, they were getting through these blue wires, they were getting the signal from these lines here. So I made another test. I connected all these inputs here, from here, I connected them to here, to these guys. So I had this module and another module here, which I took it out. And on this module here, when I'm switching from this switch, is making erroneous behavior. But while it is connected here, it is influencing this guy as well. And this guy, what is doing is switching 2 by 2. And this module here is switching 1 by 1 as a wave. This here that is not working. That is running right now. It is the wave mode that you're seeing right now. But this guy is doing 2 by 2, okay? And I connected pretty much the inputs from this ULN 2003 to this outputs here. And those 2 by 2 are working perfectly, absolutely excellent. When it's switched to that mode there. Right now it's not connected, but it is working perfectly when this module is out. When this module is influencing the other module. So something very extremely weird is happening. Before, I have to mention this very important thing. Before mounting all 3 modules that I'm having here, this side here, before mounting it, everything worked perfectly without any kind of errors. I didn't have this kind of error that I'm having right now. So my belief is that some currents are surging through all this circuitry that is there and influencing, probably is influencing this side of the circuit. So this flow of current that is here, that is surging, is lowering the behavior, the good behavior that it was already running here. And this was the guy. This is not the original because I changed 3. I have them there, 3 transistors. Another very important thing, I had everything, all the modules that you see here, all the modules were on the breadboard. On this breadboard, this is L298, you can see it here. And this is this guy, L6506, this, and they were connected. So this board with that board, they were connected like that, and the wires from this board were connected to this board, and from here to the big one, and it worked absolutely fine without any errors. But when I put these modules here, it just messed up. I remember here when I was having this big board here, I was kind of getting some error, but not as drastic, not as big as when I put all these boards modules that I'm having right now. So before it was kind of giving some signs, but with all of this, I managed to I find out one transistor, that one that is there, was completely blown. Probably I don't know. So those transistors that you've seen there on the table were from here, from this module, from here. So here I put another scrapped transistors. I checked them with my transistor tester. Let me show you. I have a couple of papers here. I took some notes. So I named them A, B, C, D, A, B, C, somewhere else. Here it was the D, but I didn't put D. And this was another one, a new one, and a very, very good one compared with the last, all of these guys here. And I couldn't see. So I took all the data from that device when I test all these transistors. I put them here in the JAWS, and I dragged some wires to the device, and I only had to desolder and solder to the next one, because they have a common base, as you can see. So one wire was here, and I only had to take out these two wires and move them down to the next transistor, and then down to the next transistor, and test it again, and so on. And I tested them that way, very, let's say, easy, but nothing is easy. So I test them all, and I cannot see any bad value. I mean, everything is working. Maybe this guy, and I changed it already with that guy, and I changed it again. I believe with two I changed from the original how it was, and it's still not working. And these guys that you are seeing here are brand new, never used, brand new from the factory, and I never used them. So these guys are giving me the exact same error as it was before. So it might not be from them. It's very, very, very strange error that I'm having here. Extremely strange. So my bet was I tested everything. I tested all the circuit. I took some pictures, and all the indication, everything was indicating to these guys here. This is the problem. All the tests, all these tests that I made here, moving the wires everywhere, and they suggested me, this guys here is the problem here. It took me a couple of days, probably weeks, 1 week of testing and taking breaks. Because I cannot test in continuously, I have to take breaks and come back again and retest, find other solutions, other ways. And yeah, so far it doesn't work, and it's very, very strange. It's very, very, very strange. Why is not working correctly? It is working, but with a lot of errors, and the point was there. You may think wrongfully, actually, that he is using scrapped transistors, but they are. First of all, I test them here with that device, and they look very okay. Maybe they are a bit stressed or old, not old, a little bit worked out, but they are good. They are doing the job, and even if they are scrapped, the problem is somewhere else. Is some logic problem that it just, by adding all that circuit, it just override the logic that it was already there. I have no idea. I really have no idea. But it is complicated. It is very, very complicated. It is simple, but in the same time, it's very, very complicated. Simple when you look from afar. Complicated, very complicated when you have to deal with the errors and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you get the point. So these guys are perfectly okay. And the guys that that was before them, before switching them, before replacing this with the new scrapped guys here, they were okay also as well. And these guys are also okay, but the logic is a bit not as it should be, and I have to figure out some sort of logic that I miss it. It worked with these guys before, but now it doesn't. It's very strange because on the breadboard I had exactly the same circuit that I'm having here on these breadboards, on this one and on that one. But here when I build it for good, it amplified the error. I have no idea what is happening, what it happened. Probably it backfired. Some current got through all from there through this. Probably I have no idea. But it is nice, I get to very strange conclusions because electronics is weird. Making electronics is weird. But as weird as it is, when it's working, is nice. Is a very pleasant feeling when you see it all working, like it is right now, but only that side, not that side. All right. So this is the erroneous behavior. It's lighting up randomly, kind of in a sequence, but it's trying to make it a sequence, but something is pulling other LEDs on, and it's not good. I put it, instead of this bunch of transistors, I put it through a buffer gate, through this four buffer gates, and it's doing exactly the same thing as with the NPN transistors. So exactly the same as with these guys. The same thing is doing. If it's not exactly the same, but it's very, very close to that behavior when I had it with the NPN transistors with these guys there. So this should have resolved. If it was the problem from here, it should have resolved the issue, but it is not, and it's very, very weird. It is very weird indeed. So what I have here, and this is working correctly. This is how it should work from the beginning. I managed to make it with transistors, but the difference is that these are PNPs. They are not NPNs. So this bunch that I'm having here, these guys, and those guys there are all NPNs. And it worked, like I said, before I put this side of the board, it worked fine with NPNs. Now it's creating a lot of errors, and my bet is that these two guys are some weird current is making them not function correctly. Or this chip here, they are looking scrapped chips. I buy them from AliExpress, I believe, and I got a bunch of them, and they look, they are scrapped. They are scrapped and cleaned. And now when I'm testing, I believe it might be a possible cause, this chip here. But if indeed are these guys here, well, I don't know what to believe. But so far so good. I mean, I managed to make this PNP's module, and I have to build it and put it there, and then change that as well, that module as well. And I really, really hope it will function correctly after that. A very good, extremely good guidance. I put everything to very low voltage, 3.7, 3-ish volts there, and I'm watching the amperage. It got high as 500 milliamps instead of 130, and like it is right now, it's quite stable because they are one by one as it should be. But when it's pretty much powering this motor that I'm having here, is one coil at a time. But when I'm switching to that, when is that error happening? It's probably making some shorts inside the motor through the coils, probably, and is jumping the amperage is jumping high sometimes when the error is happening, and on the fan of the power supply is rotating a little bit more faster, and I can hear it. I can hear when the amperage is raising because of that fan is powering up more faster, and I can hear the when the error is happening, and that was a tremendous help. This power supply, how it's built, and the auditive cues, it's very good. It's very good, and yeah, I hope this is a solution. If I will change that as well, and it will still be a problem. Holy fucking shit! I don't know how to resolve this. Actually, I have an idea. I will link directly to these rails because that worked, and when I will switch from somewhere from there, probably I will only enable this module that is here, that is doing 2x2, and probably only for the stepper motor or something. I don't know. I really don't know. I really wish I can solve this. Middle. It's fixed in the middle. Actually, it was at the end, but yeah, now it's in the middle. They're unbelievable. It's crazy hard. Another idea is to use inverters, and it will complicate even more. But now I looked here, and it's almost impossible because I have a positive here. This pad here is positive, and is a very. I'm not sure if you can see the wire even. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's here. This is the wire here. Is it? It's a small little wire there, and it's going underneath, and it's powering. You see it here. It's actually powering this positive rail. When I'm switching back, it is not powering anything. The entire module is deactivated, and also this module as well. So, holy fucking shit. So I'm not sure if and also this is very strongly linked. It's so there you see that black thread there is sewing through the cardboard, and it's underneath it, and everything is glued, and I cannot get inside it anymore. And I can't physically change the wire instead of positive to the negative. Yeah, only from this wire. If I'm taking this wire and put it to the negative, actually, I could actually, yeah, power everything to the negative. But this is dependent. This is a problem there. It's dependent. Is powering the entire module, 2 modules at once. All right, I put it at 3.7 volts there, 130 milliamps, and it is working as it should be. I'm not sure how well these LEDs will show on camera, but they are switching one by one. And if I'm switching the sense, it's getting weird. And if I'm getting back, it's working correctly. With a minor glitch at the last, or the first one. Yeah, this fourth one. But it is working correctly. And if I'm switching from here, the sense, here it's showing correctly. Everything is showing correctly here. But here is showing erroneous results, as you can see. It's just random bullshit. And what I did, I put everything as it was before I tested everything. And exactly as I assembled it the last time. And if I'm switching to double, you see, this is running 2x2, and it's working correctly. Although on this mode here, when I'm switching to this on this sense in this direction, is getting me 1 by 1 erroneous behavior. But if I'm switching to 2x2, it is correct. Although I got some erroneous behavior on 2x2 as well. And now when I'm switching the sense, now it's going backwards than it was before. This is 2x2 and this is 1x1, and it's running okay. It's running fine, the 1x1 in this sense, in this direction. Maybe it's the 4017 or this motherfucker here. These 4017s are extremely sensitive. Might be. But I'm speculating right now. I'm not sure of anything. I changed everything here, and I just put it back to make a box. I didn't make anything yet, but I will make a box. I will box it, and that's it. Project finished. Goodbye. I even made this paper here with the problems that I encountered. But right now it seems they are somewhat resolved. Unbelievable. But all the clock mechanism down to L6506, which is this guy here. So everything here until that point, actually until this point, the transistor inputs before the L pins are working as they should be. So everything here is fine. Only the driving motor part side and the switching before the modes, that's the problematic and very new to me actually, and I couldn't make it. But I couldn't make it reliable. But it is kind of working right now, and it is a lot of button pressing and everything in the switching, and it's kind of interesting project. It was a lesson in electronics. But back to the business. I even made this note. I will leave it with the box, inside the box there, with the project. So this is the idea. I will box it. I'll put it in a box. I will make a specialized box to fit everything perfectly in it and put it aside. This was my first motor driver project. Actually, not really my first. I had others in the past, but they were shy project. I didn't even get this far like I did here. This is the first actually that didn't do much. I did only the wave, I believe. I made only the wave drive, and it is working much more better than this shit that I'm having here. But it was an interesting project and an interesting idea to follow and to pursue. And pretty much what I tried to do with it, I tried to make a universal stepper motor driver circuit for 4-wire steppers like these guys and 5-wire steppers like these guys. As you can see, it is having 5 wires if you look closely there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this guy is having 4 wires, you see? No, it's the same wires from the other one. Motherfucker. This is having actually the 4 wires. And it is not connected. They're on the 5 wires one. So I wanted to make a somewhat universal stepper motor driver. That was my intention. And to switch through the modes. Wave mode, full step, half step. And it was another one there are 4 steps, 4 modes to step the motor. And another one, I don't remember now. It is looking like a sinusoid, like an alternative more than like stepping. And I managed actually to make it in Proteus all 3 steps, but here in this project I only have 2 steps: the wave mode and full step. Wave mode is 1x1 and full step is 2x2, and that's it. That's all that I could manage to make, because I encounter a lot of problems here in this motor driving. Actual motor driving circuitry here. So this is the logic, this is the microprocessor, if you want, that is doing the logic, and then the switching from this switch through from this wave mode that is here, and this board that is creating the full step and is converting that wave mode into full step 2x2. And this is only 1x1, as you can see it already here, and it is working absolutely fine here and also here as well. But up until here on this transistor blocks inputs, so if I'm connecting these wires from here to here, is working, getting the signal directly from this guys. But after this transistor blocks is getting weird. It's starting to shit itself. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I tried everything. This is it with this project. I will put an end to it. I will box it, and I will switch to another project that is more interesting than this. This was a challenge. This was the first complex universal motor driver that I ever tried, and I hope I can get back to it in the future and continue it and figure out solutions. But after I will learn more stuff in electronics, probably that's the idea. Probably I will never come back to it again, and it will be a shame. But I mean, I didn't learn because I knew it before. It is everything that I'm having, especially the motor driver part, the chips that are driving the motors. Every motor is different. The coils in the motors, if they are changed, the resistance of the coil, if the coil's resistance and the coil's windings and the number of coils, of course, they are influencing terribly the circuit, and you cannot actually make a stable universal motor stepper motor driver like I'm trying. Probably there are smarter people than me. Probably they can do it, but me, with the knowledge I have, not yet. So that's the point. That there are, if you want to make a driver for a motor, you have to actually concentrate only one single motor, not multiple. Only one model of the motor. If they are all the same, so a driver for all of them or for one specific motor, and to drive it specifically, that motor, single motor, not multiple brands or models of motors like I'm trying. That's why I'm calling it universal. You know, I'm trying to drive this one with the same circuit that I'm having here. So this is a wild idea of mine, and it was an interesting project. I actually pushed it so far, but after this point, actually I had some very technical problems, which are not related to the motors, but maybe they are related to the motors in the end. Maybe the motors are influencing the circuit behind. Who knows? But that's one of the conclusions of the many conclusions. I certainly learned something. I certainly learned how to make a microcomputer that I'm having here only from logic gates and and discrete components like this BCD that I'm having here, binary to decimal converter, only from discrete components, that was a challenge, and a fun challenge. That's why I'm keeping it. I was promising to myself that I will change this module, but I didn't change it up. Even after I received the chip, the correct BCD that was doing the same job that is doing this guy here, I still keep it there because, well, I put a lot of work on it, and it's funky. it's really funky. Is running correctly right now. Usually I have to poke him to do something like this to get back on the track, to do it correctly like it is doing it right now, because it is jumping a little bit at the end. But yeah, that's it. This is it for this project. I will box it. I will probably show the box with it in the box and with the notes that I made, and I will jump to another project because this was mind-blowing. I'm very, very, very happy. So these are the boards, testing boards that I used before I put this part here. So I'm very happy that I made this part, that I converted all these boards into this part that is connected completely, is one board here. So now I can take out everything from there. I can liberate those and I can use them as intended, for other experiments. And that was the main reason why I built this module here, to get rid of those boards that was on my head. I'm really sorry that it didn't work correctly, 100%. I had a ton of bugs, a ton of problems, and I had to resolve them all. And but it is working now by some miracle. By some miracle, this 1x1 wave mode that you are seeing here, and it's not jumping anymore. You see, it's constant 130 milliamps. It's not changing at all. But here is moving the same pace. It's pretty good. But I have no idea why now is good. I don't know. And remember, everything you see here is made on cardboard, and it is functional. All right, here it is, the box. I made the box for the project, and I customized the box to fit for my project, to fit perfectly in the box. And I also write a note here with the problems. The project, like I said already, is good until here. From here to there, this side is not resolved. I mean, it is resolved in simulator. It's working absolutely fine, but here in reality it's not working for some strange reasons. I already showed all the tests I made. So the idea is that I made the box and it's customized to fit perfectly, millimetrically. Actually, it's a bit smaller, but in the parameters. And I don't want to bend this papers. I'm not sure if I can do it with one hand. I hope it is opening by itself. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of pressure from the project inside, and if I put a little bit of scotch, but at least it doesn't move anything. It is straight, and it's made of cardboard. Actually, this was a pizza cardboard. It's not perfect, like I said. If I put a little bit of scotch here, and it'll be perfect. And I will close it. So this is me boxing the project. It's looking nice. It's a very nice box. Actually, I like it, and it's black because the project is not good. But it's my first one, and I will put it aside and forget about it. And probably in the future I will get to it. We will see. Okay. This is it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later. Bye bye. I hope you like it. I hope you like my project and the evolution of everything. I know it wasn't what you expected to be, probably, but especially for the new users that are watching my videos, not for the old ones that we talked about this project. And yeah. Also this guy, I forget about them. Some 2 buttons. Yeah. All right. This is it. Bye bye. From Romania, from your favorite electronics distributor, who boxed the project. Who is boxing the project right now. All right. Bye bye.